Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about The Walking Dead Season 10 and some news we got about the second half. And we actually got a lot of news over the past week, so we have like a couple videos coming out. But in this video, we're going to talk about the second half and some more episode titles that we got. I wasn't expecting some more episode titles to drop this early, but we did get some episode titles. And then also some Fear the Walking Dead news, which is really cool and interesting. And I wasn't expecting this to happen on Fear the Walking Dead, but a lot of awesome stuff that we've been getting over the last week. So in this video, we're gonna go through it and break it down for you guys. You guys, in the comments down below, can give your thoughts and opinions. But with that being said, let's get into it. Alright, so we're gonna start off by talking about the episode titles because yeah, I mean, some of these episode titles are really interesting. We didn't get any like synopsis exactly, but we did get some news about who's writing the episodes and stuff like that, which actually tells us a lot because we can obviously look back at other episodes they have written. Because The Walking Dead, they have pretty much the same group of writers for the entire show. They bring in new people every now and then, but anyways, we're gonna get into it. So a couple days ago, I made a video talking about the episode 9 title, which was Squeeze, and it does look like that's gonna be confirmed. That is gonna be the title of episode 9, the mid-season premiere. Now, at the time of making that video, we didn't get a synopsis for episode 10, or excuse me, episode 9, Squeeze, but now we did. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the synopsis for that also. So the synopsis for episode 9 is the collected communities are reluctantly respecting the new borderlines being imposed to them. Now that's a very interesting but also like a vague synopsis, because we know it's gonna be, I would assume that the synopsis would have something to do with the cave because that's what they're focusing on this episode. And again, none of this is from AMC. Like, AMC didn't release this information. It is from like IMDb and other sources, so who knows, maybe this isn't 100% correct, this synopsis. Maybe like when we get closer to February, it's gonna be a more in-depth synopsis, but again, it's just an episode synopsis. It's not that big of a deal. But that is interesting because it's saying they're reluctantly respecting the new borderlines being imposed to them. But it looks like, I feel like it's the exact opposite. I feel like they're going to war. And the first half, they definitely were. At least some characters were, respecting the new borderlines, even though they didn't want to. But this episode looks like they're going to be escaping the cave and then going to war. So that's a little bit of a weird synopsis, to be honest. Maybe it's wrong, who knows, but that is there on Google. So in the past, when there's episode, like the synopsis I've seen in the past for episodes, if they come out early, they're never really wrong because it's not something like people can edit, but there is no reason. Like, I don't see why anybody would make up a synopsis for an episode of The Walking Dead. Like, the episode has hype around it, sure, but it's not like, it's not like a Negan episode, season 7, episode 1 or whatever. Like, it's a pretty hyped episode to see what's going to happen, but there is no reason to make it up. So, I'm assuming these are going to be pretty right. But anyways, yeah, that was the synopsis for episode 9. But moving on to episode 10. Oh, and before we actually get to episode 10, episode 9 is written by David Leslie Johnston, and I wanted to mention that because he writes a lot of the scary episodes. And this episode apparently is inspired by like a horror movie. I think they said it was The Descent, which is something to do with, it's a movie that has to do with, a cave expedition going wrong. But that obviously is going to be very relatable to this episode, so you can see where the inspiration is coming from. But that being said, I wanted to mention this because David Leslie Johnson has written a lot of good episodes in the past, a lot of scary episodes in the past. So I don't know exactly how scary this episode is going to be because, I mean, it's definitely going to be intense, I will say that, because they're stuck in this cave, and I'm sure some characters are gonna die. Like, I don't think every single character is gonna make it because that would just be pointless. Like, Alpha's whole thing would be pointless if every character makes it. There has to be some sort of consequence and something to trigger the remaining characters who survive to want to go fight. So, and the characters down there are a lot of like major characters. There's no like secondary minor characters. Like, a lot of them are characters who are well established and fan favorites and just like characters who have a good amount of screen time. So that's what also is very intense and kind of has me excited for the episode because I'm like, who's gonna die? Because again, like, I would be shocked if every character survives. But anyways, Yeah, the episode is being written by David Leslie Johnson. But now moving on to episode 10. Now the next episode they gave the title for is titled Stalker. Now they're not saying if it's episode 10. I'm not sure why. It might not be episode 10 because it looks like what happened is that there were some submissions, like script submissions and episode titles that were submitted to the Writers Guild of America website. And Squeeze is on there, and Squeeze looks to be pretty accurate. And they have whoever like wrote it, like so whoever submitted it, but for some reason they're not giving us the exact episode title, except for episode 9. So episode 9 looks to be Squeeze, but the next episode that is on the website is Stalker, which could be episode 10, it could be 11, 12, who knows. But Stalker is written by Jim Barnes, who wrote Ghosts, which was episode 3 of this season, which I really loved. I thought episode 3 of season 10 was really good. So he wrote that episode, and that was the episode when Carol was having hallucinations and stuff like that. That was a really good episode, one of my favorite of the season. So I'm excited for it. Now, we didn't really get a synopsis for this episode. It just says Stalker is penned by Jim Barnes. So going based on his previous episode, it could be a really good episode. Maybe in a couple days or weeks they'll give us a synopsis and I'll be making a video on that. But the next title is Morningstar. Alright, so the report from comicbook.com says Morningstar is penned by co-executive producer Julia Rutschman and executive story editor Vivian Say. Sorry if I'm saying his name's wrong, but Rutschman previously scripted the season 10 mid-season finale The World Before, suggesting Morningstar could be tied to Michonne's endgame that involves her search for firepower. That's a really good point because that makes sense, because they could potentially have given her, Michonne's exit. Like, that's her storyline. So if she wrote the season 10 finale, we probably will see Michonne in this episode, Morningstar. But anyways, moving on. Say, whose credits include the Michael Cudlitz directed season 9 episode Stradivarius, also wrote season 9 episode Scars. That was a really good episode. A Michonne-centric flashback episode that revealed the horrific origins of the matching X scars she shares with Daryl. The episode could contain flashbacks to Michonne's earliest days in the apocalypse, hinted in the season 10 beat trailer. So yeah, definitely. It looks like these two, these two writers have had written for Michonne before in the past. So I'm assuming we're gonna get Michonne in this episode. I don't know if Michonne's gonna have like one episode and that's it, or is it gonna be like multiple episodes leading up to her final episode. We'll see. I'm sure they're gonna give her final episode, whatever it is, like one big episode. It's gonna be just Michonne, which I'm totally fine with, but I'm very excited for this one. The next episode we got here is Walk With Us. That's an interesting title, but it says Walk With Us is penned by co-executive producers Eli Jorn and Nicole Morant Matthews, and is likely an episode focusing on Negan as he further assimilates into the Whispers. Jorn previously scripted a Negan-focused season 10 episode 5, What It Always Is, and Morant Matthews wrote season 10 episode 2, We Are the End of the World, an episode exploring the origins of Alpha and Beta's relationship. Alright, so that's really interesting. I like this information because it kind of shows us, it looks like some of these, the writers are like, they focus on a certain character storyline, and that's their episode. So in the trailer we did see a lot of Negan and Alpha stuff, and also Jeffrey Dean Morgan teased recently that there's gonna be a lot of Negan in the second half of season 10, so I'm excited for it. Negan, his storyline coming up, I'm very excited to see what exactly happens, if they're gonna follow the comic book or they're gonna do something different, but I'm very excited for the Negan Alpha stuff. And then they also said that episode 12 is so far untitled, which is interesting because they gave us 4 titles, so obviously it wouldn't be 9, 10, 11, and 12 because they said episode 12 is untitled here. So these episodes aren't confirmed to be 9, 10, 11, and 12 or whatever. It could be like all over the place. But episode 12 is being written by Vivian Say, who I was talking about before, who wrote like Michonne's episode, the episode she was leaving, the season 10 finale. So that is also, I remember like months ago people were saying that episode 12 is going to be Michonne's final episode. I don't know where that came from, but because it's going to be written by her and she wrote the season 10 mid-season finale, that potentially could be Michonne's final episode. So we'll see if it matches up with those reports from earlier in the year. But episode 12 could potentially be Michonne's final episode, which is gonna be so sad. But I'm excited to see what they do with her future, because I don't think she's gonna die. I don't think Michonne is gonna die. Then you're gonna send her off to with the CRM and she's gonna be in the movies or something. But we'll see. But anyways, quickly before I wrap up, I want to talk a little bit about Fear the Walking Dead, because the other day their Twitter page, Fear the Walking Dead's official Twitter page, tweeted this saying, "Is this a dream or a reunion?" And season 6 has already begun filming, and it's a picture of Dwight and Sherry, and this kind of makes me think. And it's a good caption. It's an interesting caption. Is it a dream or a reunion? Because who knows? Maybe, like, I don't know if this is confirming Sherry returning, or maybe they brought the actress back for one episode and it's a dream or something. But regardless, it looks like Sherry will be back for at least a little bit. And like, this is very, like, I honestly don't know what to say, because it was something we always talk about, but I didn't expect it to happen this soon. I know that's weird to say because Sherry's been gone for a while, but it seemed to me that Fear the Walking Dead was heading to a different direction. But it looks like Sherry's gonna be on season 6, which I'm excited for, to see their reaction. If it's an actual reunion, that's gonna be exciting, because I want to see the reaction to that. And I don't get why they spoiled it like this if it is actually gonna happen. I mean, actually, I do get it. I think it's because they want fans to be excited for season 6, because season 5, I think they knew fans weren't that happy with. A lot of people weren't that happy with season 5, because honestly, it wasn't that good. Like, it picked up pretty decent, but it just went really nowhere. And I think this is why they're doing this, because they want fans to be excited and they're trying to do things that fans want. So we'll see if it works out. I'm gonna watch season 6, obviously, but let's see if this works out. But I quickly wanted to share this information because it does look like Sherry's gonna be back on Fear the Walking Dead. But you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about this in the comments down below. But I am gonna wrap it up there for this video, so hopefully you guys did enjoy. Again, leave all your thoughts and opinions about Sherry's return in the comments down below. Also, let me know what you think about the episode titles and what they could mean, because the episode titles didn't have the synopsis with it, so we don't know exactly what the episodes could mean. So let me know what you think it means based on the titles. Again, I am gonna wrap it up there, so hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like, rating, and for more Walking Dead videos, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.